Assalamualaikum, everybody. This is the lecture on Industry Policy Resolution 1956. There is the screen before you. I'm going to let you know on the previous turn I had explained you the 1948 resolution and after that the 1956 years. So in the short period of operation of 1948 industrial policy, some significant changes took place in the economy and the political spheres that is called the changes in the industrial policy as well. So the country had launched the programs of planned economic development with first 5-year plan. Second 5-year plan gave high priority to industrial development aimed at setting up a number of heavy industries, basically steel plants, capital goods industries, for which the direct government participation in state involvement was needed. Further, in December 1954, the Parliament adopted the Socialist Patron Society as the goal economic policy, which called for the state or public sector to increase its sphere of activity in the industrial sector and thus prevent concentration of economic power in private hands. Now I'm going to give you the new classification of industries in 1956. So the industry policy of 1956 adopted the classification of industries into three important categories: Schedule A industries, B, and C. And Schedule A, which contained the 70 industries, all the new units in these industries, which their establishment in the private sector has already been approved, will be set up only be the state. Then Schedule B, which contained 12 industries, such as the industries will be progressively state-owned, but private industries expect to supplement the efforts of the state in these fields. Schedule C, all remaining these industries fell in this category, and the future development of these industries had been left to the initiative and enterprise of the private sector. Assistance to private sector, while the three schedule I have shown you here, A, B, and C type industries. Now, the assistance to private sector, while the industry policy of 1956 sought to give a dominant role to the public sector, at the same time, it assured a fair treatment to the private sectors also. And the policy said that the state would continue to strengthen and expand financial institutions and that extend financial assistance to the private industry and cooperative enterprises also. The state would also strengthen the infrastructure and would include the power transport sector to help the private sector. Then expanded role of cottage and small scale industries. The Industries Policy Resolution of 1956 lays some stress on the role of cottage and small scale industries for generating larger employment opportunities and making use of local manpower and the resources and reducing the regional inequalities in the industrial development. Then balance industrial growth with among various regions. The industry policy in 1956 helped to reduce the regional disparities in the industrial development. The policy stated that facilities for development will be made available to the industrial backward areas. Then the role of foreign capital. The industry policy of recognized the important role of foreign capital in the whole country's development. The foreign capital supplements domestic savings, provides more resources for investment, and relieves pressure on the balance of payments. The country therefore welcomed inflow of foreign capital, but the policy made it clear that inflow of foreign capital will be permitted subject to the condition that major share in management, ownership, and control should be in the hands of the Indians. The development of managerial and technical cadres. The industrial policy in 1956 notes that the program of rapid industrialization in India will create large demand for managerial and technical personnel. And therefore, the policy emphasized the setting up and strengthening of institutions that transport and provide such personnel. It was also announced that the proper technical and managerial cadres in the public services are also being established. Incentives to labor. The industry policy recognized the important role of labor as a partner in the task of the development. For the policy, therefore, put some emphasis on the provision of adequate incentive to the workers and improvement in their working and service conditions also. So it laid down that wherever possible, the workers should be progressively associated the policy therefore put emphasis on the provision of adequate incentives to the workers and improvement in their working and service conditions. So it laid down that wherever possible, the workers should be progressively associated with that management so that they are enthusiastically involved in the development process. So that's it for today for 96 resolution. Okay, 1956 resolution. All right. So I'm going to conclude here. Here the second unit notes has been completed and lecture on the second unit has been completed, and on the next one I'll start from the third unit. Thank you so much.